She just beat Wimbledon champions. She just beat a 5-time Grand Slam finalist. She had one win standing between her and a maiden WTA 500 final. And then, in the blink of an eye, it was gone. But what Alexandra Eala did after that loss is the real story, and it's why her fans across the world can't stop talking about her right now. Let's rewind for a second, because to understand why this week mattered so much, you need to understand exactly what Eala walked into in Berlin. This wasn't some routine clay swing event for her. This was a tournament where she took down Elena Rybakina, a former Wimbledon champion, in straight sets. Then she turned around and beat Alina Svitolina, a player who has reached multiple Grand Slam semifinals and is one of the most respected competitors on tour. And if that wasn't enough, she added Donna Vekic to her list of scalps as well. 3 big names, 3 big wins, and suddenly the Filipina sensation was 1 match away from her first ever WTA 500 final. That's the kind of run that changes careers. That's the kind of run that gets an entire country glued to their screens at strange hours of the night, watching a live score refresh every few seconds. And for a moment, it really looked like Eala was going to do the unthinkable and walk away from Berlin as a finalist. Then came Linda Noskova. The Czech player has built a reputation for being a nightmare matchup for some of the tour's biggest names, and once again she showed exactly why. Noskova figured out a tactical approach that completely disrupted Eala's rhythm, and despite everything Eala had thrown at her opponents all week, this was the one match where the plan simply didn't come together. The semifinal ended in a loss, and just like that, the fairy tale run in the German capital was over. Now here's where most players would go quiet. Here's where you'd expect silence, maybe a short generic message days later, the kind of thing players post when they're still processing a tough defeat. But Eala didn't do that. Instead, she went straight to Instagram, where she has built an audience of over 1.1 million followers, and she posted something raw and emotional almost immediately after the loss. In her message, she said this week had given her more emotion than she could put into words, that her heart felt completely full, and that she was endlessly thankful for everything Berlin had given her. She didn't talk about the result. She didn't dwell on the missed opportunity. She talked about gratitude, about how special the experience had been, and about how thankful she was for the entire week. And the tour noticed. Coco Gauff, one of the biggest stars in women's tennis, liked the post almost instantly. Down in the comments, support poured in from players like Iva Jovic, Eva Liss, Zeynep Sonmez, and Paula Badosa, all of them showing love for what Eala had just accomplished, win or no win in that final. This is the kind of respect that doesn't come from one good week. This is respect that's been building, match by match, season by season, as players around the locker room watch Eala turn herself into one of the most dangerous competitors on tour. But here's the part that really matters for her career going forward, because emotion is one thing, but rankings are forever. That semifinal run in Berlin has pushed Eala right back up the WTA rankings, and she now sits at world number 30, just 1 spot away from matching her career high. Think about that for a second. A player who lost in the semifinals, not even the final, is now knocking on the door of her best ever ranking. That tells you everything about how meaningful those wins over Rybakina, Svitolina, and Vekic actually were. There's another huge benefit hiding inside that ranking jump too. Eala has now locked in her place as a seeded player at Wimbledon this year. If you remember, last year she crashed out in the very first round at the All England Club, a result that clearly didn't sit well with a player of her ambition. Now, with a seed next to her name, she gets a far more favorable draw and a genuine chance to go deep at the tournament that matters most in tennis. This is the opportunity she's been building toward, and Berlin just handed it to her on a silver platter. But before any of that, there's still work to do on the grass. Eala is heading straight into Bad Homburg, marking her 4th straight grass court tournament in a row, which tells you just how serious her preparation for Wimbledon really is. And this isn't just about singles either. In one of the most exciting partnerships you'll see all season, Eala is teaming up with tennis legend Venus Williams for the doubles event. Imagine that for a second, a rising star from the Philippines sharing a doubles court with a 7-time Grand Slam singles champion. That alone is must-watch content for any tennis fan. In singles, Eala's opening test comes against Elise Mertens, a player known for her tactical intelligence and her ability to frustrate bigger hitters. It's exactly the kind of early round banana skin that could derail momentum if Eala isn't sharp from ball one. So here's where we stand. A heartbreaking semi-final loss that somehow turned into one of the most positive weeks of Alexandra Eala's career. A flood of support from the very best players in the world. A ranking boost that puts her on the verge of a new career high. A Wimbledon seed secured. And now, a Venus-Williams doubles partnership and a tricky Mertens test standing between her and even more grass court momentum heading into the biggest tournament of the year. This is shaping up to be one of the most important stretches of Alexandra Eala's career. And if this week in Berlin proved anything, it's that she's not just here to compete. She's here to win. Make sure you're subscribed, because her Wimbledon journey is about to get very interesting, and you do not want to miss a single moment of it.